After the IT and BPO sector, agribusiness is being considered the next frontier of innovation. In fact, many people do believe that agribusiness is the sector, and definitely in this sector, our country has the potential to become a powerhouse. And right here at IIM Ahmedabad, joining me in our special show, Agribusiness the Way Forward, is a very interesting panel. Let me introduce you to them. In fact, we have with us right now Mr. G. Srivastav, the President of Fortal Business Solutions Private Limited. We also have Mr. Ajit Kumar, Joint Secretary, Minister of Food Processing and Industry. And also completing the panel is Professor Vasant Gandhi, former Chairman, Center for Management and Agriculture. Thank you so much, all of you. I would like to first, in fact, come to you, Mr. Kumar. If we do talk about agribusiness, it's being said that there has been a lot of change, a lot of dynamism. If we talk about the present state of agribusiness, please define that for us.
Well, Ratna, agribusiness, is one of the most important sectors of our economy. Even today, 60% people depend on agribusiness sector. It contributes a major portion to the GDP of the country. And we must keep in mind, unless we make the agriculture sector grow at a rate of 4% per annum or so, we cannot achieve the rate of 10% of GDP growth at all, which we are dreaming of. So in that sense, plus the employment potential which it has, it is the most important sector of the economy. Now, of course, our agriculture sector has been in a very primitive fashion. It has been a subsistence economic activity for the farmers. But of late, this sector has been coming up. The concept of value addition, the concept of agribusiness supply chains, which we have just not heard of in the country. Now slowly it is percolating to the industry, to the farmers, to everybody. And there what we need to do perhaps is to grill the concept of value addition in the minds of our farmers, that if they sell whatever they produce in a raw fashion, they don't get anything. But if they value add to that, even in a small way, they gain much more. So plus, we should also try to, link the farmer to the market and the industry as to what does the consumer want. That only the farmer has to produce and only he can sell.
Exactly. Professor Gandhi, taking a cue from that. So to sum it up, awareness of the farmer is critical. In fact, a lot of centers have been set up to provide agri inputs to the farmers. Do you think a lot has been done as far as making the farmer aware of the options available in the agribusiness sector is concerned?
I think a lot more needs to be done in this thing because the farmer is becoming more and more dynamic in India. He is becoming more and more informed. His aspirations are increasing as he is exposed to more of a consumer world.
True.
And as a result of that, he wants to do a lot in farming. He wants to produce what the market wants. He wants to see that what he grows is of quality and that he is able to sell it in the market and realize a good value in the market. Now, in helping him with this, a lot more needs to be done because at the moment our communication systems with the farmers are very weak. The extension system is almost dysfunctional. Only the private traders and the private businessmen are available to help him, to guide him. Often the advice that he gets is very biased. And as a result, we need to develop centers in partnership with educational institutions, research institutions, as well as businesses to advise him better in terms of what varieties to grow, what crops to plant in a particular year, what does the forecast look like of the prices.
So academic intervention is important here in the sector.
Extremely important.
Well, another thing which is crucial, Mr. Srivastav, is finances. We're talking about financial schemes, going the farmer way. We're talking about Kisan credit cards. A lot, in fact, has been done. But you have been interacting with them immensely. Do you feel that the money provided to them is enough or still a lot more needs to be done?
Agri credit, we have seen a huge increase in the allocation. But if you look at the farmers, there are two distinct categories of farmers we are talking about. Well-to-do, well-informed, large farmers and a large base of small and marginal farmers. Now, making available this credit to the small and marginal farmers, in our experience, has been very, very daunting and challenging for a country like India. The transaction costs involved in getting this small credit, access to this small credit, is still very high. Well, the banks are ready, but the systems and processes are not geared up to give this small credit to the small and marginal farmers. without or at very low cost. So maybe like, we need to improve on the delivery system when it comes to like, giving more credit to this particular sector, especially the small and marginal farmers.
Mr. Kumar, we've been talking for some time now, and the need to do more is highlighted. Let's talk about the policies. What policies are there right now, and what changes can we actually see in them?
Well, the government's policies at the moment are, I would say two-pronged. One, the government would like to act as a facilitator, to create a conducive environment in which the business of the farmers, the industry can grow and grow easily without much problem. And second, also to assist the industry directly by either creation of infrastructure, especially in the rural areas. The rural areas, because the private sector is not in a position or doesn't like to go to the rural areas because the money is not there. I'm sorry to say that, but it is a fact. But the infrastructure is very much required in the rural areas. Without that, the farmers just cannot value add to its products. So that is one way. And the second is to directly help the industry in putting up, processing units everywhere, putting up quality testing laboratories all over the country, taking up research projects which is totally funded by the government in various research institutions, whether private or public, so that we can develop new products, develop new sort of commodities, new technologies in our own country. So these are various ways, and government has, if I may add, enacted several physical reforms policies which have gone a long way in helping the industry as such.
There is an age-old debate about people who criticize agribusiness, the entire concept and the sector, that do we have enough for our local needs to actually start exporting, talk about these big mega plans? Do we have enough for ourselves? And if the answer to this question from you is increasing and boosting productivity, that how do we intend to do that?
I think we can produce enough and export in a large number of commodities. Not in every commodity, but in a large number of commodities, we can become a significant exporter, especially in the region, in the Asian region, Middle East, whole of Asian region. We can become also Africa. We can become major exporters to these areas. And the reason behind this is that we have arable land, which is more than what China has. Okay, we have a huge water resource. We have a great agroclimate to produce a variety of different things. Right? And we have farmers who are extremely getting involved in the science and technology of production very rapidly. Plus, if you see a large number of studies that have done in terms of competitiveness at the world level, we are competitive in a very large number of commodities, including wheat, rice, vegetables, fruits, everything.
So in some sectors we can, and some sectors we can't.
Right, but the thing that has to be done is that the connection between research and the farmer, that has got to be strengthened very, very substantially in this process.
So again, the thrust on
and
awareness,
the farmers,
academic intervention.
And the farmers need to be given the best of technology that is available. There again, we have a lot of difficulty from time to time, of concerns being raised by various groups, about biotechnology, about the latest scientific findings, being practiced by the farmers, and so on. That is where we need to, take some major decisions. Because our competing countries are all adopting technology very rapidly. You take China, you take other Asian countries, and if we let our farmers down on these things, then we are going to lose competitiveness and a great opportunity that is there.
So we will talk about the relevance of technology